All right. So if you're a manufacturer and you're thinking that a personalized video pitch in your direct outreach isn't going to work for you, then this video is for you. And the reason why I'm making this video is because we had a couple industrial manufacturing clients or prospects of ours say, hey, Ryan, I just don't think that this strategy will work for us. And so this video is a response to that because obviously it will. And I'm gonna explain why. Without further ado, let's get into it. Real quick, if you're new here, I'm Ryan Ogren. I'm the founder of MoneyMake Marketing. And MoneyMake Marketing, we do B2B outreach. Specifically, we have a bunch of different silos, but manufacturers have by far been our best case studies. We've been able to close multiple seven figures for them. In 2025, we actually were able to collect $3.55 million for our clients in cash. That's not contracted revenue. That's collected cash and revenue through cold LinkedIn DMs, cold email, and personalized video pitches. That is something that I don't think a lot of agencies can say out there ever. And we haven't been around that long. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so let's go into it. This won't work for us. Now, let's go through this. All right, so this won't work for us. The very first thing we have to go through is define work, okay? So what does this actually mean? And in our eyes, work means you are making money. That means, let me just rewind that. Work for us, from their perspective, that a strategy working is that they are acquiring new customers profitably. Now, if you were coming to work with us, work for us, if our strategy works for you, it means that you are making more money than what you pay us, okay? So that's our definition of work. But for you, like our strategy in total means you're acquiring customers profitably, okay? And manufacturing, some of them, depending on what kind of niche you're in, it depends on kind of the POs that you're actually collecting on, right? The POs that you're actually getting. One of our clients collected a PO that they expect to grow, that account to grow into multiple six figures per year, even seven figures. And that first PO that they had was 5 figures. So I had to count it in my head. But sometimes accounts that you close, maybe you're not profitable in the front, but you're definitely gonna be profitable in the back end. And it's very important to take into consideration the LTV of the entire account, right? Because if you're only focusing on these small POs, but these are massive companies and they can grow into big things, that's certainly something to take into account. So anyways, this won't work for us. Work means acquiring new customers profitably, all right? So what they're essentially saying is, Ryan, your strategy is not going to acquire customers for us profitably, all right? That's essentially how I'm taking it. And so also, there's another guy said this, Ryan, this doesn't apply to the way we operate our ecosystem. And so that's like a whole different ball of wax. But essentially what I asked that guy, I said to him, hey, what do you mean? Do you guys have customers that you want to work with, but you currently are not working with? He said, yeah. And I said, what's your strategy to get them? And he says, oh, we want to go visit them in person and do this, that, and the other. And I said, okay, I think you're misunderstanding me because our strategy is going to help you do that. All right. So back to what I was saying, acquiring new customers profitably, or let me organize this. Worried about sales process operations. Okay. Essentially what our strategy is in a nutshell is pretty much just designed to open new accounts that are currently closed. So let's say there's a customer that you want to work with. There's a company that you really want to work with, but you're not currently working with them. Our strategy can work, okay? If they are on LinkedIn, if they check their email, which if they're in manufacturing or they're in retail, or if they're a B2B company, for the most part they do, then our strategy is going to work. Okay. And essentially, why does this happen? Okay. Let me backtrack and go to our strategy. Okay. So our strategy is outreach, ask if we can send over value. Okay. That's pretty much what we ask. I'm not saying the word value. We're saying if we can create something of value and send it over to them. Now, these people, if it truly is of value and they know that there's no strings attached, they're going to say yes. They are going to say yes. Why? It's a no-brainer offer. It's a no-brainer offer. If I said to you, hey, can I give you my black Lamborghini for free? And you believed what I had to say, and I said, there's no strings attached. No strings attached, I promise. Just here it is. Here are the keys. You're gonna say yes. No one's gonna say not. No one is ever gonna say no. So the reason we have to make our lead magnets good is because of that reason. The better our lead magnet is, the more believable our lead magnet is, the more yeses that you actually get. And when you get a yes from the account, the new customer, you get a yes from your desired new customer, that they will actually see the lead magnet that you put together, you are on your way to opening that account, okay? I'm not saying we're taking away your sales process. We had a medical device manufacturer that goes to these neurosurgeons and meets with them face to face in the operating. And he was like, hey, Ryan, your strategy is not going to work for us because we go face to face. And I said to him, look, our strategy is not replace that. Our strategy is actually used to get you into more operating rooms. Do you understand that? There's a lot of neurosurgeons that are out there that want to use your specific product and probably will use it, but you haven't been able to schedule with them because they don't want to already commit to something that they don't know anything else about. If you reached out to me and I was a neurosurgeon and you wanted to just come into my operating room to show me something and sell me something during an operation, I'm going to tell you no. So what I explained to him was, look, this strategy isn't going to replace your sales process. And same thing with the industrial manufacturing guy. It's not going to replace your sales process. All this does is gets you into more sales opportunities for your sales process to take place. Okay, so now we just reached out to a customer that you have never heard of, that has never heard of you before, that's brand new. We got in touch with them. We offered them something of value. They said, yes, please send it over. And then we send over the lead magnet. That lead magnet is personalized. It's very well done because we've planned on it. We went back and forth. We iterated on it. We do the lead magnet for you guys if you wanted us to do it. But the lead magnet is doing the heavy lifting, opening up the door. The lead magnet opens the door, okay? So when you have that happen, right now, you actually have your new customer that you want, you reached out and you asked if you could send something of value. It landed in their inbox. They're like, wait a second, who are these guys? Yeah, sure, send it over. I'll check it out. They're already out of scanner mode. You already are further along than your competitors. So then after that, what happens? We send the video over, we send whatever lead magnet we want over. Now they consume the lead magnet, okay? They're checking it, they're watching it. In that lead magnet is so valuable to them, it actually pitches everything that we need to have. It might have a deliverable in it, it might have AI in it, it might have X, Y, and Z. It depends on whatever the situation. For one of our clients, we actually put draft designs that we used AI to build into that particular video. That right then and there is the thing that gets them to want to meet with you. So in the neurosurgeon and the medical device company's example, now those neurosurgeons are like, yeah, sure, we can book a time where you can come into our operating room. It gets you more value and trust and creates a little bit more of a warm prospect than anything else. For that industrial manufacturer, now it actually opens a door for a new account. Hey, we actually have a new factory that's opening up. We need a few of your actual machines in this particular factory. Can we schedule a meeting and talk about this and talk about your capabilities here? Boom. So all this strategy does, all our strategy does is open new accounts. That's what happens. If you open new accounts, you guys, it'll work for you. If you guys are dealing with humans, it'll work for you. It literally attaches onto your sales process and any kind of sales process out. Whether it's B2B, whether it's most of it's just B2B, but whether it's B2B retail, what if it's industrial, whether it's wholesale, whether it's you're just going for major retailers, whatever it is, this strategy can work for you because you're dealing with humans on the other side. So I just wanted to make this quick video. This is a much shorter video. I've been doing a lot of talking today, so my voice is hoarse. But that's our 2 cents on how this will work for you. So now when it comes down to acquiring new customers profitably, think about this, all right? So let's talk about acquiring new customers profitably, okay? So we got A, and then we got B. So campaign A, campaign B. Campaign A is your typical BDR, business development rep, or SDR, sales development rep, and their outreach. Okay, so typically, maybe let's do 100 emails a day. So 100 emails a day, so that's 100 emails a day times 30, that'll be 3,000 emails per month. Okay, this is what they're sending. Typically, they'll have a 1% response rate. So this is with no lead magnet. This is them just trying to sell in the email. Do like big email, big copy, like not trying to do any kind of short marketing materials. So 3,000 emails per month with no lead magnet. Typically you can get a 1% response rate, and typically 50% of those responses are positive. Okay. So this is like a good campaign. So these are KPIs without an actual lead magnet. So let's just actually check this out. So 3,000 times 0.01, that's 30 responses. And of those, 50% are positive. Let's just say that is 15 leads, okay? 15 engaged leads. Now, typically, your booked call rate of those 15 engaged leads will typically be another 50%. So now you're at 7.5 booked calls per month with this strategy, okay? That's essentially what's happening. Now, if we look at campaign B, which is typically ours, if we just did 3,000 emails per month, and we can crush that, we can actually do that on just LinkedIn alone. But let's just say it's emails, okay? And we're gonna use a lead magnet, and we're gonna make it personalized. Our typical response rate when we use a lead magnet is 5%, and that's low, okay? So now let's just do 3,000 times 0.05. We have 150 responses. And if we just do we're gonna have more, usually we have way more positive response rates. Usually it goes up to 75%, 60 to 75%. But let's just say we keep everything else the same. So we have a 50%. So 150, so that means 75 are positive replies, okay? So 5% positive response rate, and then we have 75 positive replies, aka engaged leads. Look at that, 15 to 75. Same campaign, we just put a lead magnet on it, okay? Now we have 75 leads, engaged leads, and these engaged leads are watching our videos, right? So they're watching our videos. Our booked call rate is so much higher after them watching a video than typically before when it's at 50%. But anyways, let's just keep it the same. So 50%. Now, if we didn't change anything else, we just got more yeses to our first initial email, and we had way more positive replies because the ratios were the same. So 75 positive replies, 75 engaged leads. If we just have 50%, what's 50% of 75? 75 times 0.5 equals 37. 37 booked calls. Now do you guys understand why I am so crazy about lead magnets? Okay? The math is right there. It's right in front of your face. Now, if it's like higher ticket B2B, like a lot of our manufacturers where they're dealing with multiple 7-figure in a deal, these numbers shrink drastically. The reason why is because there's only so many companies at the top, right? These companies are bigger, they're way more aggressive. When you have these companies, let's say it's a Fortune 500 company that you're trying to book with or you're trying to meet with and they're a dream account of yours, every single person in your industry is emailing them. Everybody wants them. Everybody wants that account. So how are you gonna stand out? That decision maker, their time, their calendar is absolutely packed, 100% to the gills. They're trying to get out of as many meetings as possible. That's their strategy. You have to cater to that belief. If you're trying to just get time on their calendar, you're probably a smaller company than, if you're going after Fortune 500 brands, you're probably a smaller company than that company is. You need to understand that it is not going to be your typical sale. And so if you're just sending emails and expecting your BDRs to beat their door down and follow up with them until you can book that meeting, you are bananas, right? They need more information to make a new decision. They already made a decision not to meet with you before on your initial outreach. So if you want them to change their mind, you need to give them more information, and information in a way that they want to consume it. So if you're multiple 7 figures plus, you need to understand that these decision makers need info that is not requiring them to get on a sales call. And it's bananas to me because all these manufacturers that we deal with and we talk to, they're saying, oh, hey, why don't we just continue to follow up with a Fortune 500 company and eventually they'll want to meet with us. And I'm just telling you right now, it's just a decision maker out there that's making the decision that they don't want to meet with you. And it's not a timing issue. It's not a timing issue that they don't want to meet with you. It is straight up because they already decided that you're not worth their time. And they are deeming you valuable to whatever the deal structure is at that moment in time, or whatever is not the deal structure, whatever is going on in their life at that moment in time. They are just so busy, and so many people want their time and so many people want their attention that you have to stand out. You have to be able to get them information beforehand to stand out and then prove that you're worth their time to actually book on a calendar. That's what I'll say about that. So anyways, I rambled off. There's probably 2 videos in one on this video, but anyways, that's Ryan Ogren, MoneyMake Marketing, and that is why you need to use a lead magnet in your actual strategy. And that's why for manufacturers, they say this won't work for us. You're totally wrong. It will definitely work for you as long as you're trying to open up accounts with new customers, and those new customers are humans and they're on LinkedIn and they check their email. If they are on LinkedIn and they check their email and they've never heard of you before, a personalized video pitch is not going to hurt you. It is actually going to help you tremendously. Ryan Ogren, MoneyMake Marketing. If you want, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It's a new channel. We're trying to grow it. And also, if you want to work with us, apply to work with us. Our website's below. All right, see ya.